We'll do some more pockets of the future. So again, I want to put it this way: is that I'm not trying to pick on Paul Romano and the channel Pockets of the Future. I must admit myself, I don't know what's going on. All I can do is give be as of good a judgment as I possibly can. And so I'll reiterate what I said in part one: is any channel that's making 5 and 6 figures or more a year doing their channel is highly suspicious, suspicious enough to where I don't take them seriously. I'll listen to them and I will try to glean information from different things they say, but I don't trust them at all. And so any channel that makes 5 and 6 figures, I'll watch them. But I already know I'm watching a shill who's a paid shill that has that is espousing an agenda, a particular narrative. Okay. So going back into Paul Romano's channel, Pockets of the Future. See, I did a channel called the Angry Hobo Channel, and then I did a second channel called Another Angry Hobo Channel because I got locked out of my original one, right? And Paul Romano is a little bit familiar with my channel. He's watched a little bit of it. He actually did some commentary, went into a little bit of commentary on one of his videos about my channel. And also the reason he's familiar with my channel is because I donated to my channel donated to his channel. And I sent him a letter talking to him about my content, like what I was covering, because I was covering homelessness, like the whole subject of homelessness and poverty. And was asking him if he would please look into some of these things to see if he thought maybe they were important. And if he thought they were important, maybe he could talk about them in his video. And he never responded. He sure did take my donation. He never responded. And he never showed any interest. He continued to just ignore the issue of homelessness and poverty in America, which I have always stood on. The ground I've stood on in that is that that's the biggest issue, or that's one of the top biggest issues, and it's being completely ignored by all these people with big platforms like Paul Romano, which is fine. It's like, whatever. I don't care if you want to ignore it and act like it's not an issue. That's your problem, not mine. So anyways, then what was it in 2020? Paul Romano puts out a video that says death by poverty and starts predicting that poverty is going to be the thing that ushers in like the crash and the new world order kind of thing and whatever. Like, he uses whatever terminology he does, but basically he was saying that poverty is so, which is what I was telling him back in 2016 and 17 with my donation, asking him if he could kind of look into some of this, because I believe this is a big part of it that nobody's talking about. So he ignored me for like 3 or 4 years. Then he puts out a video that's about exactly that, like 3 or 4 years after I asked him and told him that I've been looking into this, and I think this is a massive component of everything that everyone is ignoring because it's not popular, it's not trendy. It's not something audiences want to hear, and everybody's pandering to their audience. It's not about the truth. It's about pandering to their audience. And so I was asking, please look into this if you're a genuine truther, because I believe this is the thing. Nothing. And then 3 or 4 years later, he claims that he has found out that this is the thing, that it's going to be death by poverty. Poverty is going to be the big psyop that fucking, that sets everything off in the apocalypse. The end, the final act of the apocalypse is going to be death by poverty, was his proclamation. Now, since then, he's maybe done 1 or 2 videos and then just abandoned it and gone back to his same old shtick, So I know I probably appear as though I'm railing on him, which whatever, it doesn't matter because I know how I feel. Like I said, I just watched an hour and 40 minutes, and he has some good information. He brings up good points. But it doesn't change my mind that any channel that's making 5 and 6 figures a year up their channel is a fucking shill channel. They're paid propagandists, paid by the beast system, and the majority of them are fully aware of this, and they are bullshitting their audiences. And as I said, some are much more effective at bullshitting than others. But there's one thing about me that I know is that I'm very good at detecting bullshitters. I have a very accurate bullshitter barometer. And that's why I'm firm in my stance that these channels making 5 and 6 figures a year are all bullshitters. They'll inject truth into their, well, and they have to if they want any kind of sense of credibility, and if they want to, some channels don't care about credibility because they only pander to the lowest IQ. But there are other channels that are just as shill channels that do care about their credibility because they care about the effectiveness of their job as a propagandist that works for the beast system, spreading propaganda and misinformation. They care about their jobs. They want to be good at it, and they want to reach the higher IQ. They don't want to just pander to the low IQ. And the beast system needs propagandists that will target higher IQ people instead of just pander to all the low IQ sheeple. So if my hunch is correct that Paul Romano is a shill, which he may not be, but I'm still going to stay firm in my stance. Maybe 0.001% of all these pop-tard trendy channels aren't shills, but I don't believe that. So if my hunch is correct, that since Paul Romano brings 5 or better figures a year in on his channel, he's, in my opinion, that's a shill. And so his job is not to pander to the low IQ sheeple. His job is to pander to the higher IQ. And that's why he's harder to detect as a shill. Now, if I'm wrong, then I just think that Paul Romano, like all other human beings, are flawed. And he's missing some things. And really what it is the whole subject of poverty, homelessness in this country. He just ignores it like everybody else. That in that sense, he resembles a sheep, which if you look at it through that lens, almost everybody is a sheep, because almost everybody believes the mainstream medium narrative tagline that all homeless are lazy, mentally ill, drug addicted, criminal, vagrant, degenerates, and this is completely untrue. This is like the furthest thing from the truth. See, I have over 60 or 70,000 hours of research and study and field experience on the whole subject of homelessness and poverty in the U.S. Like, I've devoted a ton of my life to it. I understand it better than most people, and so I totally understand that Paul Romano is completely clueless on that subject. And that he came out in 2020 proclaiming that it's death by poverty, that poverty is going to be the main catalyst to roll out the final act of the apocalypse. That was his statement, is true. The funny thing is he abandoned, after about 2 or 3 weeks of talking about that, he's completely abandoned it. And I was asking him to look into that back in 2016 and 2017. And as I said, he's familiar with my previous channels, my Angry Hobo channel, because he talked about it in one of his videos, which was pretty funny. He was, but anyways, but I stopped watching his stuff a while ago. And when the alleged Trump assassination, which I'm not claiming one way or another, as far as the alleged Trump assassination, based off of what I've seen and looked into and the evidence, it appears real to me. I mean, if it is faked, they did a really fucking good job, dude. They really did an amazing job. And Trump's acting performance was superb. Like, he's a better actor than anyone in Hollywood. If that was faked, Trump is a better actor than anyone in Hollywood. It was great. He did an amazing job, and they all did a superbly amazing job at presenting a fake assassination attempt on Trump. It was better. It was like more believable than anything I've ever seen as far as theatrics go. Sure, that's possible, but is it likely and probable? No. So that's all I'm going to say. As far as, do I know that it was faked or not? No, of course I don't know. Why would I ever claim I do? These are the problems I have, like, with Paul Romano, is his claim that he knows that it was fake. Like, dude, you don't know shit. How insulting that is to the masses of people that looked at it, and it didn't look fake to all of them, including me. It didn't look fake to me. So we're all stupid, and Paul Romano is superior to us. No, that's absolutely not. Like I said, like, when it comes to intelligence, not that I'm some intellect, but I know there is subjects that I know I am far superior intellect than Paul Romano. One of them being the homelessness and poverty issue in this country. Paul Romano is beyond clueless, like your average person. Most people have no idea what is going on in this country in regards to poverty. This is a fucking third world country. Like, it's retarded. And he does not know anything about it. He got a little glimpse of it in 2020 when he put out that video proclaiming that his prediction is it's gonna be death by poverty. They're gonna use the beast system is going to use poverty and they already are. That's the funny thing, is they already are. They already have. This is all already, it's all done. It's over. In that sense, like he's going to come back in probably a few years, and that's all he's going to talk about is poverty. And I did my channel for 6 years or something. Like, I was averaging at least 2 or 3 videos a week, and my entire channel was basically that. Death by poverty was the whole point of my entire channel. That's all I covered exclusively, nothing else. And dude, like, I'm not going to do it anymore. People don't want the truth. People do not want the truth. And see, Paul Romano knows this too. This is why I like to bring up these things. Like, the truth isn't popular. The truth is not popular. So any truther, supposed so-called truther channel that's popular, like Paul Romano's channel, Pockets of the Future, is popular. He brings in at least 5 figures a year, probably closer to 6 by now, maybe. That's popular. And the truth is not popular. So any truther channel that's popular is a fake shill channel. Yeah. And Paul Romano knows that the truth is not popular. If he were backed into a corner and asked, would you say that the truth is popular? He would have to admit that no, the truth is not popular, because it's not. Well, then how is Paul's channel getting so popular? How is it so popular? Oh, and then he can pull shit out of his ass to come up with some, but it's bullshit. Again, I could be wrong. This is an opinion piece, but whatever. Other things, like, this is another thing that no truther can deny this stuff. Like, no truther, even if they're fake, can deny that the truth is not popular. The truth is not popular. So therefore, they're a walking, breathing, living contradiction. If they have a popular truther channel and they're admitting that the truth isn't popular, don't you understand? Okay, so here's another one. And these are just that one I pulled off of the movie Total Recall. That was a line, not Total Recall, Running Man. Is a fucking, you can find more profound truth on mainstream media shit like the movie Running Man than you can on any fucking truther channel. You know, and that was Arnold Schwarzenegger's line. He said, I don't know if you realize, but the truth hasn't been very popular lately. And it's like, there's the truth. That's the truth that no truther is talking about. Because if any truther talked about it, it would expose them as a fucking contradiction. If the truth isn't popular, how is this truther so popular and making $40,000, $50,000, $100,000 a year off their truther channel? Hello, right? So this is another one that I pull off the movie The International. It says that the thing you need to know about the truth is there's what people want to hear. There's what people want to believe. There's everything else. Then there's the truth. And this just exposes all these frauds again. The same thing. So any so-called truther channel that's popular is telling people what they want to hear. That's how it's getting popularity, is because it's telling people what they want to hear. It's telling people what they want to believe. And it's telling people everything else. And the truth is the last thing that it's doing. This is the pockets of the future. Is they're telling people, pockets of the future tells people what they want to hear, tells people what they want to believe, tells people everything else, and then the truth. You know, look into tarot readers. This is the same trick with tarot and the gypsies. It's the same thing. Tarot readers tell the recipient what the recipient wants to hear, what the recipient wants to believe. Everything else, and sprinkles in a little bit of truth to keep that recipient coming back for more tarot readings. YouTube channels is the exact same formula, exact identical same thing. Tell people what they want to hear, tell people what they want to believe, tell them everything else, and then the truth. So now, is there truth watching Paul Romano's videos, Pockets of the Future videos? Yeah, sure, there is. Partial truth. You know, I just watched a video that posed the argument that half-truths are more damaging than outright lies. Because half-truths are just lies anyway. So that's what all these popular channels that are making all this money off of their channels are doing. They're spreading all these half-truths and sprinkling in truth to maintain enough credibility to where they can keep these motherfuckers coming back.